Today we're gonna do some more trashing on Nintendo consoles, and we're gonna do it right now. What's up guys, Luke back again for some more Nintendo console bashing. Quick heads up, this is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, make sure you check that one out and come back and see me when you're done. I'll have it in the cards and in the description for your ease. But today we're gonna be doing a little more poking the bear, and man, do I have some stuff to talk about. Without any further ado, sit back, relax, don't unsubscribe to the channel, and let's talk about why Nintendo sucks at making game consoles. The Nintendo Gamecube. The 4th iteration of game consoles by Nintendo, and this was about the time when mom stopped writing your name on your cartridges because there wasn't a place to write it. Thank you, Nintendo! And about the time when she started calling every system you owned, including your family computer, a Nintendo. But after the disaster that is the N64, I guess there's nowhere to go but up, right? Okay, this thing looks good so far. I like the form factor, nice and compact. Oh, that's neat. And a little handle if you want to move it around or bring it over to a friend's house. Nice touch. 4 controller ports, good job. They carried over the one good thing from the Nintendo 64. Well, this is good so far. No complaints. As you can see, no cartridge slot, so thankfully Nintendo finally learned their lesson. Only thing left to do is plug in a controller, pop a game in, and damn it! What possessed Nintendo to make the decision to do this? I mean, why would they have 3-inch discs? Why? I'm guessing just to be different. I guess having their console shaped like a cube wasn't enough. And this is a major inconvenience when you start buying games that have too much data for them to fit on one tiny little disc. Now you're dealing with multi-disc games, and you know what that means. Okay, time to pop in disc 2. Where did I put that thing? Now to the controller. And this thing is... it's awful, guys. It's awful. But before you get out your pitchforks and threaten to burn down my house, hear me out. I tried to say nice things about this controller, but it has too many flaws. First of all, what's up with the face button layout? A huge A button and a teeny tiny little B button. And what is with the X and Y? If my breath smells bad, tell me. Don't put Tic Tacs in my controller. And then there's the D-pad. This thing is micro. Could you imagine firing off a Hadouken with this controller? It would be a total disaster. And then there's the C-stick. It's just god awful, guys. Why would they do this? Playing FPS games with this is like playing with a controller that your dog got a hold of and chewed off the nub of the analog stick. I will say that the left analog stick has a certain charm to it. It's pretty dang comfortable, and I love the clack sound it makes when you're playing Smash Bros. Yeah. Also, the L and R triggers are very comfortable. They're both kind of like a bed for your fingers, but don't get me started on the Z button. That thing is absolute crap. Mushy and unsatisfying to press. Wow, Nintendo, you almost had something here. That's it. I can't take these crappy consoles anymore. Enough is enough. I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago. Please don't throw me in the garbage. I feel better already. At least I can die in peace now, knowing that there's one less GameCube on the planet.
I mean, nobody actually likes these things, right?
Luke. Let go of your anger, Luke.
Somebody say something? Obi, is that you?
Actually, it's Mitch and Austin with Super Platinum Achievement.
Oh, what's up, guys?
We felt a disturbance in the game force, and we had to check it out.
Oh, okay.
You see, you may not like all these consoles, but they are wonderful in their own way.
Oh, really?
But listen, Austin's kind of making this happen with the Y Force, and this is his first time doing it. So we don't have a whole lot of time, so I need you to shut up and listen. The future of these wonderful Nintendo consoles depends on it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Have you ever played a fighting game on one of these controllers for the GameCube? I mean, Super Smash Bros., Soul Calibur 2, these controllers are perfect for it. The button layout was pretty much designed with these kinds of games in mind. And don't forget that the entire controller was pretty much designed around Smash and Mario.
Also, when was the last time you went to play an FPS game like, oh, let me go grab my Nintendo? Nintendo has never been the platform for FPS. They've always designed their controllers around their amazing first-party games. If you don't believe me, check out our video on best controllers of all time.
You've convinced me. You got some valid points there. The GameCube may have a lot of flaws in my opinion, but it still does have some charm to it.
Mitch, I don't know if I can do this much longer.
Okay, well, we gotta go.
Wait, I have one more question.
What is it?
Well, you see, I still have to talk about the Wii and Wii U. And before I tear into those consoles, since you convinced me with the GameCube, I'd just like to hear your opinion on them.
We aren't too attached to those, so I guess say what you want.
I can't hold it anymore.
Thanks, guys!
Subscribe to our channel!
That was Mitch and Austin from Super Platinum Achievement, another small, high-quality YouTube channel that's trying to grow. Go check them out. I'll have a link in the description down below and in the cards for your convenience. Love those guys.
The Nintendo Wii. Dude, I don't need to sit here and tell you guys that this console is trash. Everyone knows that the Wii is an absolute gimmick with a capital G. The funny thing is though, when this system came out, I was 14, thinking, man, this is gonna be amazing. Especially after seeing those Red Steel commercials, you know, where the guy is all like ducking behind his couch and shooting the gun all gangster style. To a white suburban kid that was into gangster rap and action movies at the time, this was totally badass. It was settled. I was getting a Wii. So I saved up the money for months doing chores, mowing lawns, collecting cans, and you better believe I was in front of Target all night to pick one of those bad boys up. I got it home.
Yes!
Set it up, started playing, and realized I had been lied to. I was tricked by clever marketing. In the videos, everyone was all like, but in reality, it was more like, this console was great for people with big families to gather around and wail on each other in Wii Sports Boxing. But for an only child that had friends but also enjoyed a lot of alone time, this got worn out fast. So as far as the console looks, it really looks awesome. It had that sleek, white, shiny plastic, a nice blue LED in the disk drive slot. It's sleek and sexy. All right, everything is looking good with this one. Time to connect it to the internet with all my other consoles. Let me take my Ethernet cord for my DSL modem and plug it in. No freaking internet plug. Dude, what were they thinking? And of course, Nintendo Online was a total disaster. I didn't have Wi-Fi in my house in 2006. Not a lot of people did. So I had to try to rip off internet from a local unsecure network in the area. There was always that one unsecure network in the neighborhood, which was not enough to do anything, just maybe scroll through the first page of Wii shop games or get into an NBA Live 08 match only to get disconnected 5 seconds later.
But I'm sure they'll fix the Ethernet port issue on future consoles.
Oh yes, and you can't talk about the Wii console without talking about the GameCube flaps. I mean, it's like they knew these flimsy little things would have issues from the get-go. So they made them so you could disconnect them, but where do you put them after you disconnect them? I'll tell you, in the garbage. These things were flimsy. Good news is they don't really do anything but make the Wii console look sleeker. I will say that it is great that they added backwards compatibility to the Wii for GameCube. It's kind of an art that doesn't really happen anymore. However, in order to play a GameCube game, you have to pull one of those Wii patent moves. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
Now, onto the abomination that is the controller. This thing is what makes the Wii unplayable in my opinion. It's a Wiimote, how cute! But outside of simply playing Wii Sports or some other basic shovelware game, this thing is an uncomfortable, unintuitive mess. This controller is uncomfortable no matter how you hold it. If you point it straight at the TV, it's okay for a while, but it wasn't meant to be held at the TV for hours. And the more I think about it, Nintendo has a knack for resurrecting old crappy tech for new consoles. Just look at the new 3DS C-Stick. Yuck! Maybe the controller will feel better if it's held like a NES controller.
Nope.
I mean, it's okay, I guess, but it just doesn't feel right. The good news is that Nintendo realized that only the casuals would enjoy this controller setup for longer than 2 seconds. So they thought ahead and released the Wii Classic controller as kind of an alternative solution for people that don't want to be all every time they play Mario Kart.
Okay, I got my Wii Classic controller. Now it's time to play some games with the controller I can deal with. Just gotta plug it in. No!
The Wii U. This console is a little hard for me to rag on, not because it doesn't have many flaws or because it holds sentimental value to me, just because who the hell had one of these things? This console was a colossal failure back in the day, selling less than 15 million units worldwide compared to its predecessor, the Wii, that broke records selling over 100 million units. This thing wasn't properly marketed, which is confusing because this time you would think Nintendo would know how to market a game console. But the truth, in my opinion, is that Nintendo was trying to ride the coattails of the Wii. You can tell in the lazy naming of the console. Wii U. I mean, come on, Nintendo. You couldn't do any better than this. Also, in appearance, it looks exactly like the Wii at first glance. Oh, cool, they added a few USB slots in the front. And on the back side, we have oh wow, a HDMI port. So it's an HD console. That's way overdue, but still, kudos. And wait a second. Where's the
Ethernet port!
Well, we're banished to Wi-Fi hell again with this one. Wow, Nintendo. Just wow. The controller is a giant tablet with analog sticks and buttons on it. The main allure to the Wii U was it gave you this new way to play games. It was meant to use the gamepad and TV in tandem to create new experiences in gaming for the user. This on paper sounds innovative, but in practice, it doesn't work very well. It's not fun switching back and forth between the two screens. It's just cumbersome.
But with that being said, a lot of games you kind of had the option to use the gamepad screen or not, and that's pretty cool.
So I can choose to either use the TV screen or gamepad screen. This was a luxury that no other console at the time had. At least this seamless, that is.
Babe, dinner's ready.
Okay, babe, I'm coming.
This gamepad has no range. Like literally, walking into the next room disconnects the gamepad.
What? No way.
Didn't they know that we would want to walk around the house with this thing? Take it in the backyard, bedroom, or on the toilet?
What? Don't act like you haven't played a handheld on the crapper before. I mean, come on.
I mean, what were they thinking? Not having the ability to take the gamepad out of the room takes away the one good thing about having a separate tablet controller. No matter how upsetting some of the choices that Nintendo makes with their consoles may be, there still is that charm to each one of these consoles. And even though a lot of the ideas Nintendo has usually end up being kind of gimmicky or don't hold up over time, you can't deny that the company of Nintendo has built a legacy of innovation. Every time a new console from Nintendo is announced, there seems to be an excitement revolving around it that no other company has been able to produce. I'll be the first to say that I've taken part in that excitement, and more times than I can count, sat back in awe of some new product, whether software or even in some cases hardware, and just simply said, wow, they did it again. And even though they have crapped out some serious turds over the almost 40 years in the home console market, I wouldn't have it any other way. Because every couple of generations, all the pieces fall into place and something amazing happens. But that's enough reminiscing. We still got one more console to trash on. The Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, the moment we have all been waiting for. This console is This console is a complete and total masterpiece. This console is amazing, guys. I love the Nintendo Switch. I can't sit here and rag on this thing. And if you don't believe that I love it, go watch my Why You Should Buy Nintendo Switch in 2020 video. I pretty much outline all the great things about this console. It's hard to call it a home console though, because it isn't just a home console. It's a hybrid console and a handheld. This thing has gotten me through 20-hour flights across the country, boring waiting rooms, and the occasional weekend of relaxed gaming at home. However, it, just like any other console, isn't perfect. The first thing I think about, and at this point any Switch owner thinks about and fears, is the Joy-Con drift. We do repairs at my game store, and getting 3 to 4 Switch Joy-Con repairs in one day has been a thing. These controllers are so cool and versatile, but not very durable. It's gotten to the point that I don't want to use the Joy-Cons for any games other than puzzle games, platformers, and RPGs. The thought of playing a fighting game or FPS with these just makes me nervous. This has gotten so bad that a class action lawsuit was actually filed against Nintendo and is still a huge issue to this day. Also, the console tends to get uncomfortable with extended use, and this has been corrected with accessories, most notably the Satisfy grips, but that kind of interferes with the console's portability, and that's something I don't want to do. even if it means stiff thumbs. Another issue with the system is its internal storage. The Nintendo Switch has, are you ready for this? A whopping 32 gigabytes of internal storage. No freaking way. Come on, Nintendo. 32 gigabytes? This is unacceptable. I picked up two 128 gigabyte SD cards from Costco the other day for $40. But the Nintendo Switch ships with 32 gigabytes of memory. Now, this can be taken care of with SD cards, but that comes with a problem as well. It's easy when you're dealing with multiple SD cards to forget what games are on what SD card. So you spend 20 minutes swapping out SD cards to try and remember which one had that copy of Unicorn Princess.
What? Don't judge me.
This is a band-aid fix, but if Nintendo just put adequate storage on their console, this wouldn't be a problem. But no, Nintendo cheaps out again at the customer's expense. But with these things being said, this is still an amazing console. The Nintendo Switch is my favorite console that Nintendo has ever made, and I'm super excited to see what's next for the Nintendo Switch and the future of Nintendo consoles.
In conclusion, the second half of Nintendo's home console history has definitely been a rocky one. And not just in the sales category, with the exception of the Wii and really the Nintendo Switch as well. It's been a history of some really weird choices, but at the end of the day, this is what Nintendo has always done, and it's why they are such a beloved company. They aren't afraid to go against the grain and try new things. Even if the thing they're trying is take a piece of 20-year-old tech and trying to rebrand it as a new thing, but they have saved the best for last, and I love the direction that they are taking the company when it comes to their game consoles. And once again, I know these last two Nintendo videos have been very negative towards Nintendo, but I want to remind everyone that I love Nintendo. But I felt like this company gets a lot of breaks in the eyes of the consumer, and they really just needed to be knocked down a few pegs. But I do love Nintendo, and I'm very excited to see what they have planned for the future. As long as it's not the Wii 2.0. Oh God, no! But that's it, guys. Enough ragging on Nintendo for a while, and I promise I'll have some positive Nintendo content out very soon. But I did have a lot of fun putting these videos together and would like to do more videos ragging on other companies like Microsoft and especially Sega. So let me know in the comments what company you would like me to roast next. Also, if you got value out of this video, do me a favor and smash like, as well as subscribe for more content like this. And lastly, if you want to support this channel monetarily and help me get even better and more content out there, consider becoming one of my Patreons. We have about 5 right now, and I'd love to get that up to 10. Link in the description. Thank you in advance. But until next time, Luke from 8-Bit Plus, signing out, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.
That was a long day of Nintendo bashing. Now it's time to sit back, relax, play a little bit of Smash Ultimate online.
No internet plug.
Nintendo!